Now, just to take a brief respite from the news, I thought we might do something kind of like just a little bit fun. Do you guys remember the old 90s? The old 90s web? Look, let me give you a demonstration here. Let me see if I can find. Let's even show this, right? So here's a common website. It's flat, right? The buttons look flat. Yeah, like it's unless you understand that icons mean something, like you don't really understand what you're clicking on, what's text versus what's button from like an initial view. I like showing this one. You have this here, right? Very basic. React is one of the most popular front end frameworks to create websites. And this is what it is. I love showing this off too. I want you to look at just a quick respite. Look at the network requests that are happening here. So I'm going to clear this. We're going to start fresh. Oh, they haven't fixed it. Yeah, they haven't fixed it. And I can just keep doing this all day. This is the state of front end with the most popular front end framework created by React cultists. Because React is a cult. It's just not an overt cult, but it is a cult. And I've done this before several times. This is the peak state of front-end web development where I can just sit here and just hover over. Everything is flat. Everything is homogeneous. There's no character anymore. Everything kind of sucks, right? So look at that. Look at this. Let me see if I can do this right here. 30 here. Yeah. Let's just keep going. 180, and the requests just keep going and going and going and going and going, right? Now, I just thought this was kind of a cool thing to show off. There is this website that talks about some old school 90s web designers. And I thought this was nice because it kind of harkened back to the days when people had more character with the websites they created. And I just want to show off a few. Like this. Now, I understand. This can be considered ugly. Compared to the design paradigms that we have available to us today, it could be considered ugly. But there was some character in this, down to the choice of the background color and the color of the links and the little icons that were presented and so on and so forth. Right? How about this? There's character behind this. There's you start to get a sense of who is running the website, who's authoring the website. How about this? I know maybe it's not the most prettiest thing with all these like interactive widgets and clicking on this and doing cool stuff, but honestly, where has the current paradigm of stuff like, let's see, Tailwind CSS. That's I'm doing a video on why you shouldn't use Tailwind CSS because it's absolute dog crap. But this is the kind of website, right? Where's the character here? This is so like corporate-y and blocky and just like, there's no character in this. And this is the default styles that you get out of Tailwind. Compared to that, this is what we lost, folks. We lost this along the way. We lost character. How about this? Remember doing HTML in Notepad and loading it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. When you had the ability to change something in a file and then you could do an immediate reload and see all your changes. There was no compilation step. It was all instant. Everything, everything was it was fine, like, fast too. How about this? This is a personal site, and this kind of stuff, there was character behind it, right? It was. How about this? What about software? You guys remember this? What the hell happened to this? You could clearly tell what things were buttons. It was very clear what things were clickable. You could differentiate the scroll bars. Yes, maybe the colors were flat, but that today should be a very solvable thing. You could make it like a different color variations to kind of like make things pop out. The entire paradigm of UI design has completely it started with good intentions, but man, did it fail to execute, right? Odin, yeah, Bill from Odin said he's something about making a web UI that would be like Flash. Yeah, he's going to work on an entire UI thing totally. There were even some nice websites that had multi-column layouts that still had like a grid-like pattern, looked nice. Maybe they're not the most up-to-date standards in terms of design, but they're nice. Nice enough. Or how about this? Now, you could say it's messy and ugly. Yes, okay. But again, there's character here, and we've lost that in favor of homogenization. How about that? Right? It's multi-column. This is so easy to parse. It's easy to get the content out. The links are clear. Everything about this is very, very clear and simple. And then you have things like this, right? Things like this. This is starting to change, right? And you can start to see that things are removed, character is being removed, and so on. So I just thought I'd take a break from the typical news articles because this one stood out to me as like, what have we lost along the way with regards to web design? And nothing has character anymore. It's all just straightforward flatness and extreme minimalism. Minimalism is okay. I don't mind minimalism, but it's we need to go back. We really need to go back, and we have. If you can imagine that how much better our hardware is, our ability to render graphics, our ability to do different kinds of programming paradigms in very simple formats, very easily. Things have only gotten better since the days of that. And we kind of need to go back to that. It's gone too far. All right. NeoCities is making a resurgence. Is it? Hang on, let me just cities.org. Yeah, the cross chat is kind of new. I had it on before and then I turned it off for a while, but now I don't care anymore, so it's back on. So everybody can see each other's chats across all the different platforms. Yeah, NeoCities is making a resurgence. Here, just real quick. Here's a NeoCities. Like, come on. Is this the most like up-to-date style or whatever? No. Does it have character? 100% it has character. 100%. How about this? Like, this is stupid, right? But there's character, right? How about I don't know, this one. This is so simple. So simple. And it's even got responsive design for on mobile, but there's character in it. So, anyways, these are things that that we really need to get back to.